The first boss in a video game can say a lot about the game. Is the game going to be easy? What's the design of it like? Is it long, drawn-out boss fights or short, quick, intense boss fights? Sometimes in the first boss of a game, you're intended to lose even. And everyone's favorite bosses come from the Soulsborne games. So are the first bosses from these games any good? Demon Souls, you fight the Adjudicator Demon. If you've never played a Soulsborne game before, this guy might give you some trouble. But on repeat playthroughs, he's a cakewalk. Dark Souls 1, you fight a very similar enemy, the Asylum Demon. He's also very easy, but when you first run into him, you do not have a weapon. You can either go to the left, find your weapon, and come back and dispose of him pretty easily. Or you can try and fight him with no weapon, and you get a secret weapon for doing this. Your first boss in Dark Souls 2 could be a few different bosses, but we're gonna go with the Last Giant. The Last Giant has a great atmosphere, but is pretty easy overall. However, he still packs a punch, and if you slip up once or twice, he could definitely kill you. In Bloodborne, there are two bosses you might encounter first. Father Gascoigne, which is one of the best bosses in the game, being a hunter turned into a beast fight halfway through. This isn't just one of the best bosses in the game, but also honestly one of the hardest based on your level. You even get rewarded for exploring the level better by making the boss easier with the music box. More realistically, your first boss is going to be the Cleric Beast though. This giant towering beast is honestly a phenomenal first boss to Bloodborne, getting us more accustomed with the world and design while also not being an easy challenge whatsoever. But he's much easier than Father Gascoigne and you can take him out with just a few tries. Judex Gundyr at the start of Dark Souls 3 is probably the most defining first boss in a Souls game so far. He has a much faster moveset than all of the bosses discussed previously, besides maybe Father Gascoigne, and is the perfect tutorial boss for Dark Souls 3. And in Elden Ring, obviously there's a ton of different bosses you could encounter, but we're going to talk about Margit. I think Margit's a little unreasonable for a first boss. He is an incredibly fast enemy with a large health pool and dishes out a ton of damage. Luckily, this is an open world game, so you're expected to run around and fight a few other bosses before you encounter him. So because of that, we'll get Margit a pass. And I've never played Sekiro before. I'm sorry.